Okay, this video is connected to our Amazon Connect training. We have created a contact center, and now what we want to do is we want to enhance what is called an agent workspace. When a customer calls in, the agent answers the phone, and the agent needs to see the customer calling in, the phone number, their customer information, any cases they have open, and they want to use Amazon Q to give recommendations on what they should tell the client. So, with that said, let's take a look uh, at what the agent workspace is. Okay, so basically, what we see is um, uh, the agent John logged in, and he can see certain things. Um, by default, he'll probably see customer profile cases in Amazon Q. And John is an agent, and agents have access to the agent workspace. And I also gave the agents access to customer profiles, cases, and Amazon Q. We are trying to help the agent right now and set up Amazon Q. And we just did that, but I'll show you it again. So the idea behind Amazon Q in the agent workspace is if a customer calls in and they start asking questions, the agent, instead of going through and looking for information, it can talk to Amazon Q and get that information. So, so we talked about kitchen supplies, and John could say, "What are a list of kitchen supplies that we sell?" Let's say. Now, this contact center is for Home Task AI. Bottom line is, some customer is going to want something, and that's something I want to fulfill that. But if the customer wants to retail their kitchen, they want a contractor to do that. So they're gonna be asking about what type of tiles are available, etc. So there might be a lot of questions going on about home remodeling and tiles, and how do I pave my driveway? How do I get a plumber? Regardless of that. Okay. So basically, what we did was we went to S3 and we created what is called a knowledge base, and I put a bunch of PDF files there. Um, if you had any questions about trees or tiles or roofing, I want Amazon Q to help the agent help the customer. So that's basically what we're trying to do. So as you notice, there's a kitchen supplies document here. The reason why I asked the question is because I know the documents here, and and here's the kitchen supplies. So I knew this document was here. I just asked for a list. Let's go back and see what happened. In the agent workspace, because what should have happened is let's say, okay, John's here. Let me do that again. List of kitchen supplies. And remember, the agent is trying to help the customer. Now, here's the source. Uh, I don't know why both of these came up, but there's a home guide and there's kitchen supplies. And it looks like the kitchen supplies was the one that had the list of kitchen supplies. So, so the agent could be on the phone, cutting and pasting this to chat with the customer, but at the same time looking at this document and helping the customer with whatever they want. Notice that the agent did not have to go search a web and find the document. However, when I set this up and I created the knowledge base, I went and I searched the web and I was looking for all types of documents. So that's how I created the knowledge base. So keep in mind that it's not necessarily that you just want to dump files here. You want files that are going to help. You want your knowledge base to be very helpful. So there could be frequently asked questions, frequently asked kitchen questions, frequently asked carpeting questions, and now what I notice is that there's kind of a uh, inconsistency here. I mean, you want these documents to answer questions. Some of them might be too general, and you might get information which you don't need. But let me see if I look at roofing materials. Okay, so if I ask a question, list roofing materials, I should get an answer here. But just so I have um, a more precise question. Okay, so let me go back over here and let me go back into the agent workspace. And now this agent is trying to help a customer, and we're finished with kitchen supplies. Now the customer asks something about um, paving, okay? Um, and they ask the question, you know, what does this term mean? Um, I could cut and paste this thing and tell the customer right away. First, I will take a look at it, but here, this driveway painting paving document is what I would bring up, and I could share that link with the customer. Okay, how do I check materials for paving? Do I check materials for paving? Okay, then I get an answer that I could cut and paste and give to the customer. And my source is still the driveway paving document. I mean, that's how I got this. So you imagine that, okay, these documents these documents are helpful if you have these how to or material guides and all this stuff. So we noticed that. Um, uh, and uh, and I didn't call in yet, but but I don't need to. Amazon Q is working for the agent, and that's basically what is needed. Okay, so how did we do this? Basically, what we did was we went as an administrator of my Amazon account. We went we went into Amazon Connect, and we went into this instance. And this instance is my Home Test 2025 Connect Contact Center instance. I do have a separate administrator for it, but that administrator probably can't see this stuff. So if I go into Amazon Q, uh, I have a domain, and I created the domain and I pointed to an S3 bucket, and that S3 bucket has this information in it. Okay, so going back here, um, if I look at if you see how this works, it basically, you add a domain, you integrate with your application, you provide real-time recommendations. Now, all it means is you create a domain name that's unique. I used Home Test 2025 Q because this domain name is the Q. With the data integration, I defined the integration name. I pointed it to S3. I pointed it to the particular bucket. I created a KMS key. that was enabled. And so that's all you need to do. Now, the interesting thing is the the domain names, the keys, and everything else like that. They're magnifying as I go through this, but they don't have to. Amazon Connect has a domain, and I could use that domain, and it has a key. I could use that key. But what I decided to do instead was use separate domains and separate keys for different services because I'm constantly removing them and recreating them. Something is wrong with my configuration. So at this point here, Customer Profiles has its own domain, Cases has its own domain, Amazon Q has its own domain, and Amazon Connect has its own domain. And the bottom line is, do I need all that stuff? Probably, probably, probably not. But just keep that in mind. And anything else we need to say? Yes. So let me go back to the root user. The root user in home task. If I now go in and do a login in emergency, it just means I'm in the Amazon Connect home task instance. I am an account root user, but what I could do is go to security profiles, and I could see that my agent, all my agents have access to the contact control panel, which is fine, but it also has access to Amazon Q Connect. And I added cases, and I added customer profiles. Some of the other stuff that I added, I'm trying to get things working, something's not working. So I don't really need all this stuff. It's just that when you go to agent, you could actually um, you could actually turn on customer profiles. In this case here, mm, I turn on customer profiles. I turn on cases, and I turn on Amazon Q. That's under agent applications. Usually I click this, and then when I come back here, something else is there. So if it works, it works. If it doesn't work, you have to come back here and try to figure out what's going on here. But just like access control is, it's very confusing. So anyway, that's that. So when I come over here and I see these things, I see my workspace. And this bothers me, this blank spot here, but this does fill up with information. And so if I remove permissions to cases, you wouldn't see this tab. If I remove customer profile, you wouldn't see this tab. Amazon Q would take up this space. And I could add other portlets here that are meaningful and helpful for the agent. Okay, so that's really, well, maybe we could try, just try a couple more because I want to show you how tricky this stuff is. So here's my files. Now I want to make sure that if um, someone's shopping for a carpet, what do I expect them what I expect them to ask? So this is a carpeting guide. Now notice all furniture stores and carpeting stores might have a carpeting guide. The question I'm asking myself is, what is the best guide? What is the more commonly used guide? I mean, if Home Task AI is going to provide services for every single customer, they're not working for a particular Lowe's or Home Depot or some boutique carpet shop or whatever. But I need to help the user. So, carpet padding selections. So let's see if I went here into the agent workspace and asked Amazon Q. See, we got patterned carpet, plush carpet, Berber carpet. Let's see if I ask this specific, and here's the source. Okay, so um, this is a little strange that two of these things are coming up. Why are two of them coming up? That's a question I have. But I just saw that with another item, right? So let's see. What are our pet friendly carpets? Okay, notice this information. Um, it's giving me some information. Is it exactly what I want to tell the client? So you want stain and soil resistant. Stain Master is one brand, durable and high traffic. I don't know if it's answering the question because I think the question was geared towards what can you give me that's. So anyway, keep that in mind that there's a concept of delusions and stuff like that. You're asking a question if it's not specific enough, you'll get a generic answer. But anyway, so anyway, you get the idea that my knowledge base has files in it, and it's my job to provide the knowledge base um, with files that are meaningful. So what do you want here? I noticed some of these are really good, like this paver installing guide. Some people might want to see how to pave. Um, I imagine and this shows you a lot of information associated with, you know, how to pave and all the detail associated with that, right? So if I want to say, okay, how do I prepare a site for a certain type of material? You could ask questions like that. But anyway, so that's all I really wanted to show you. Uh, I love this feature. There's just a lot of creativity, and it's no coding. It's just doing what you need to do. Okay, that's really all I wanted to show you about Amazon Q. Now notice what we're going to do next. So it seems like we got this working to the best of our ability right now. So now the question is, how do we get these things working? So let's move forward. And I don't understand why I'm on this welcome here. This is supposed to be John, right? John, that's not good. Um, but let me log out, log back in. Yeah, I'm having problems with some state management. Um, could be because I have some other windows open, as you could see. So it says welcome Jane. I noticed there's some state issues, but once Jane is logged in, she should only see welcome Jane. And if she signs out, and John logs in, we should see welcome John. Yeah, occasionally I have some problems here, but we're all done with this video. Let's move on to looking at other parts of the agent workspace to configure.